What is up, everybody? Back with another video, man. We got the boy EC Swiss Sniper, insane gold digger wife hires an assassin to murder her husband. Let's get it.
What's up, everyone? So if you've been with this channel for some time, you would know that I used to read some very friendly messages at the beginning of my videos. I took a little bit of a break from doing this segment because, as they say, too much of something isn't good. So I think it's been a couple of months since the last time I read someone's heartfelt and thoughtful email, and I think today is a good day to see what these wonderful people have been up to. So this guy, who shall not be named, sent me an email titled 1v1 my wife, and at first I was a little confused by what he meant. I always assume the worst when it comes to anything I see on the internet, so I initially thought he wanted me to bend her over a barrel and show her the 50 states as he watched. I was a little scared, to say the least, but thankfully it wasn't anything as crazy as that. So let's take a look at what this gentleman has said. Your videos are the most embarrassing thing I've come across. Put your money where your mouth is and 1v1 my wife in Modern Warfare or Cold War. She streams on Twitch every day and she beats every internet trash talker she has played against. You are no exception. Her Activision ID is blank. Add her and play her. Well, I guess he meant to call me a great man, but he spelled that completely wrong. Very unfortunate. Whoever sent this to me, you really spent time sending me an email on behalf of someone else, challenging me to a video game. Just think about that for a second. I'm gonna need you to fill this application out so your wife doesn't have to wear low top t-shirts and stream on Twitch every day just to help your family survive, you jobless motherfucker. I would rather honestly play against bots than take the time out of my day to bend my knee and cave into some random guy's demands. And let me tell you what would happen if I did end up playing against her. Her viewers on Twitch would end up reporting her stream because of the absolute spanking that would ensue. His shitter wife would end up saying that I was hacking or something after I 30-0 her. I would have destroyed her confidence and then she'll proceed to cry. I'm actually saving this guy from having to listen to his wife talk about her feelings all night. No guy wants to listen to that. I would literally end her streaming career. She'd go back to playing Animal Crossing. I wouldn't even hold back and it would all be your fault. If you come at me sideways, mercy will be the last thing I will show. So have a wonderful day, and I will not be wasting my time. I will not be adding your wife on Activision. So this email is a perfect tie-in to today's video because it involves another husband and wife, a marriage gone completely wrong. I feel like a couple of you guys have heard this story before, but I'm sure a lot of you haven't heard of it or maybe forgot about it, so that's why I wanted to take a look at this situation. So let's jump right in. Here we have Dalia Dipolito. What do you guys think of her? Actually, makeup does wonders. Here's a more accurate photo. She looks like a character from The Bug's Life, but the real question is, would you be willing to pay her for some fun time, if you know what I mean? And there was a guy who answered yes to that question, and in fact, he did end up paying her. Now, that guy's name is Michael. I guess he made what we'd call a rookie mistake. You don't get into relationships with women who get paid to get guys laid. Don't let the women empowerment people tell you otherwise. Taking that much D, drinking that much of that white gooey liquid cannot possibly be good for you. At the time, Dalia was also working as a, you can fill in the blank, and met Michael when he requested a service one night. Nevertheless, despite both of their pasts, the two fell in love immediately. Dalia claimed she found Michael attractive and that they loved to cuddle together in bed. Michael divorced his then wife and married Dalia 5 days later. The couple lived peacefully, or so it appears, because just after 6 months, the police discovered Dalia hiring someone to get this man clapped from existence. Michael reported that after meeting Dalia, he suddenly started undergoing frequent encounters with the police. They would often pull him over because of unknown points that claimed Michael was dealing with drugs. Furthermore, Michael also claimed that Dalia once attempted to spike his drink with antifreeze. If you drink antifreeze, there ain't no respawning from that. So we have a woman exhibiting level 100 weirdo behavior. The question, however, is why? Why would a woman go through the process of trying to erase her husband's life? What could have possibly gone wrong? Michael claimed that Dalia stole $100,000 from him. Another source says that that number was upwards of $240,000. $40,000. Regardless of what the exact number is, she stole quite a lot of money out of his bank account. Now all she needed to do was get rid of the husband, so she went ahead and contacted a man she previously had a relationship with, and his name was Mike Stanley. She had Stanley impersonate a doctor to help her hide the $100,000 theft, and later a lawyer to make her husband wrongly think that he had completed probation. She hoped that if her husband stopped visiting his probation officer, he would be found in violation. In others, she rejoiced when she persuaded her husband to put their townhome in her name only, then complained when she learned she couldn't sell it without his signature. So it looks like the picture is getting a lot clearer. Dahlia took it a step further and contacted yet another guy she was once in a relationship with to see if he'd be able to find someone who could 007 James Bond style take her husband out.
What did she say to you at the time?
Basically, yeah, I know you're short money, and I got you if you could do this for me. If you could find someone that could take him, basically, or lock him up, or implant in his car, and that's why I decided to come to you guys, because she's really, dead serious on getting this done.
Let me just take a second to appreciate this guy for saving another dude's life. I usually don't advocate for snitching, but this is a situation where it was 100% the right thing to do. So after this confession, the cops went ahead and sent in an undercover police officer posing as the assassin that Dahlia would be meeting and discussing the details with. But little did she know that she was getting caught in 4K. Well, actually, more like 360p. The footage looks like it was recorded off a fucking toaster, but let's take a look.
He makes his plan crystal clear.
I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna do it and when exactly it's gonna be done.
A burglary gone wrong that leaves Mike dead.
Everybody works in the daytime. Right. When he's at work, when he's not at work, then he gets to it ahead. Between now and when it's done, you not to have an option to change your mind, even if you change your mind.
No, there's no, I'm determined already. I'm positive, 5,000% sure.
In her words, she was, quote, 5,000% sure that she wanted to go through with this entire thing. 5,000, not 10%, not even 100%, 5,000% sure. All while not realizing that she was talking to a cop. She really took a big fat L at this very moment. Now we're gonna take a look at this clip where Dahlia finds out that her husband is, quote, not alive. At least that's what she thinks. She doesn't realize that she's been set up and getting played like a fiddle. This is a cringe-inducing and extremely hilarious piece of footage, so let's take a look.
Listen, we had a report of a disturbance at your house, and there were shots fired. Is your husband Michael? Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am, he's been killed. He's been killed, man. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Try to calm down. Listen, right now we need to get you to the station. We need to get you to our police station. I can't let you.
A friend of the channel, Mrs. Mia herself, would be proud of this incredible display of acting. Give this woman an Oscar immediately. Her hands were shaking. She was putting on a real show for the camera. I don't know how the cop didn't start laughing. Give that man an award as well. I'd have been laughing so hard if I was him. I'm very impressed by the way he conducted himself. Now moving on, Dahlia was only convicted in 2017. She went through multiple different trials, and hear this, Dahlia even had a kid during her house arrest. I can only imagine why she'd do that. Maybe to get some sympathy and have her prison sentence reduced. That's just a thought, just a theory that I have. But Dahlia will be behind bars until the year 2032, which I feel like is not long enough. I don't want someone who considers themselves to be a victim in this situation out and about in public in just 11 more years.
What's been the hardest part?
Not knowing when it's over, not being able to leave, watching everybody around me being able to come and go as they want, and I can't do that, and just trying to be happy for them as they're coming back and forth and stuff.
She would be a perfect inmate at Arkham Asylum. Look at how she goes on national television and makes this entire thing about herself. A psych ward is where she needs to be right now.
How much do you love this guy?
I love him a lot.
But after what he's been through, Michael wants to make sure this time he has found true love.
Think about this. How crazy would it be if this woman that Michael is now with is the actual hitman? I saw in the comments people mentioning this, and it had me thinking that would be one of the biggest plot twists in human history, but for obvious reasons, let's hope that that's not actually true. Now, I hope the kid that Dahlia had doesn't find out who his mom is when he grows up. That would not be information well received. Imagine Googling your mom and finding out that her profession was tasting the meat rainbow for money. And not only that, but she was guilty of trying to clap a dude, and that you were also born when she was in house arrest. I would be very sad if I was that kid. But anyways, this is yet another warning for men out there to not be wifing up these types of women. I'm tired of guys saying that they're in love with a girl that they just met 2 days ago. It's getting ridiculous. Can we as men start thinking with our brain and not our sausages? You could very well end up being the next Michael DiPolito. And of course, nobody wants to see another case like this, especially if the guy doesn't get as lucky as he did. Because if Dahlia's plan succeeded, that man would be in the ground right now, and this video would have been a lot sadder. So again, I want to hammer this point home. I want to say this enough times to where guys start feeling this way. Don't meet a girl and start dating her after a week. You don't know how crazy she actually might be, and I hope these stories that I'm covering help persuade people out of this habit of, quote, falling in love after just 2 hours of meeting someone. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter. The links are down in the description below. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you guys in the next video. Peace.
Alright, bro. With that being said, bro, this video.